Well, I was going to play this World War II Normandy game made by ValuSoft, but it refuses to install. The disk is disgusting, but even after cleaning it, it just refused to load. So instead, we're looking at another ValuSoft game, Navy SEALs. And when filming this, I dropped it. So, yeah, shows you how much faith I have in it. This game actually came with a ValuSoft catalog, which is kind of rare to see for ValuSoft games. And if you don't remember, ValuSoft is a distributor and a publisher. They get like tiny studios to make budget games, and then they would release them. They were a division of THQ, and then when THQ died, Cosme Corporation bought them up. And Cosme still exists. They're the ones that released that trash in Best Buy, like Tax Pro or whatever. But this game decided to work, but even in Windows 10, there were some issues. I couldn't move forward, and I couldn't look around, so I said, fine, I'll install it in XP. And while I was installing, I decided to do some research. See, ValuSoft is really bad for like putting their sticker and name all over a game's box, but you would never really know who it was developed by unless you looked closely. Kind of the same way Activision was with Extreme Boards and Blades. But this game was made by Jarhead Games, and they don't exist anymore, but thanks to archive.org, you can see their website. The guys who made that company moved on to make Piranha games, and they're working on like Mech Warrior or something like that. I went to the contact page, and maybe I could get a hold of them and talk to them about the days of Jarhead. But as I say budget titles, you could predict that this game was going to be pretty trash, and in my research I saw that some famous YouTubers in the past have covered this before, so I guess I'm not doing anything new. But once it finally got installed, I loaded it up. ValuSoft greets me. So does Jarhead Games. You know what? My XP machine needs a new background. I'm just going to print the screen and go to Paint because, well, XP doesn't really have a good capture system, so you got to go to Paint. And there we go. Yay! Jarhead Games will forever be immortalized on this small YouTuber's XP machine. You should feel so lucky. So what you have here is a super bland shooter. You shoot the same enemies, and they all use AKs. And you got like an objective marker, and then you go from point A to point B, occasionally having to look for a lever to open a door, and then boom, you got to rush to the water to get to the boat to escape while a helicopter is shooting at you. It's all very super generic, and it's bad. I read somewhere that there's 10 levels that are broken down into 3 areas, and I couldn't imagine playing through this entire game. But I will say that this is probably the best ValuSoft game I've played. It's better than Mob Enforcer or Pokemon Team Turbo. I managed to make it to the 2nd level, Bosnia, and it's the same deal. I get to see a new gun, but the enemies still use AK-47s, and I learned that you can run from point A to point B and not have to kill anybody as long as you get to the objective alive. And this is where the problems of the game really shine. You have night vision, but it doesn't really illuminate anything. Like, I really don't know if there's something wrong with my XP machine or something, but yeah, the night vision doesn't help. In fact, I think it makes things a little worse. You're actually seeing a lot brighter. Elgato, for some reason, decided to brighten up the game a little bit. And my dog is scratching herself. Thank you, doggy. But yeah, you run around and shoot, and there's no real awesome storyline or anything. It reminds me of Soldier of Fortune, where you just run around and kill people, but Soldier of Fortune's a lot more fast-paced and quality and detailed and, generally more fun. In a world where Call of Duty exists, why would you play this? But that's why the world of budget titles really fascinate me, because back then when this came out, it was cheaper than Call of Duty. In fact, it was cheaper than any AAA release at the time, so it was a good alternative. And if you didn't know any better, you probably enjoyed this and had fond memories with it. And you may say that this predates Call of Duty, which is true. This game came out in 2002, the first Call of Duty came out in 2003. But even in the 90s, you had the Delta Force series. Medal of Honor Allied Assault came out in the same year, and the first Medal of Honor on PlayStation came out in 1999. Operation Flashpoint came out in 2001. I don't know why I'm defending a budget game. I don't think anyone's going to come in here and say that this game is better than anything else. It's padding for time, really. Because that's the bad thing about these budget games. I always considered doing a series on ValuSoft's games. But when it comes down to it, there's just so little to talk about. Bad graphics, bad gameplay, not a lot of content. I can sum up every ValuSoft game that way. In fact, I also hinted at the idea of playing a bunch of ValuSoft games in one video, but there are so many of them that would be like an hour-long video. I was hoping to pick on a World War II game. It didn't work, so I decided to look at Navy SEALs, and what I got was a game that, you know, doesn't really make me think of Navy SEALs. I guess there's water at the end of Iraq, so that's something. I'm Elijah Blackwell, CD-ROM Fossil, and if you want to see more budget titles from ValuSoft, let me know. I like to do these every once in a while because, I don't know, I guess I'm a masochist. But if you want to see some more, maybe you want to see a full video, a full just episode of ValuSoft where I play through every single ValuSoft game I own. Point being that I own. I actually don't own them all. There's a ton. But I'll play them all, put them in one giant video, and I'll even revisit this one and Mob Enforcer in that as well. Let me know what you think. I'm going to go play something good to wash my mouth out of this garbage.